Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Pow Wow Life podcast. My name is Paul Gowder, and I'm really excited to talk to you today. Today, I want to give you some lessons that we've learned from traveling, being on the road, especially right now in this very busy time for us. This month has been crazy. I've been on the road. I went to, let's see, we were in Oklahoma for the Choctaw Heritage Day as well as the Choctaw Powwow. I got back from that and went to Boston for a conference. While I was gone, my wife Kelly took off to Spain for a trip over there with her travel agency. Next week, we'll be on a cruise, and then we'll be home for a couple of weeks. So, with all that travel, I felt like today would be a good time to just pull back a little bit. Let's talk about some of the things we've learned, and go into some lessons and things I want to share with you about travel. But before we get into that, let me give you a couple of quick announcements and updates. If you aren't aware, we have a new home on the internet for our community. If you've been around PowWows.com a while, you know that we started by being mostly a community site. We had a forum back in the day, and that's where it grew. We moved to social media, but now we've decided, with the help of some software and some folks over at that software platform helping me plan this out, we have launched our own community over on this platform. And if you want to get there, I'll put the link below, but it's easy. Just type in your browser circle.powwows.com. It has spaces for us to chat, for you to introduce each other. You can hear that going off in the background. That means new posts are happening over there. New people have joined. We've got announcements. We've got giveaways. We have right now a challenge going on where we're all doing things for Native American Heritage Month. There's already a couple hundred people in there, and it is a super fun, engaging platform. And one of the reasons I love it, it takes us away from the groups on other platforms, and which we'll still have those, and I really like having them, but they aren't always the best for engagement. The social networks are becoming interesting in some of the ways that community interacts there. So we wanted to take control of that and have a space for it. So go check out circle.powwows.com. I hope you'll join us over there. It's really fun, and it's cool to see how that's going to grow over the next few months. All right, other announcements on, let me get the date right. November 27th, we'll be streaming live from Porch Creek. So over Thanksgiving weekend, don't miss that. No, that's our next live stream. And then we only have one more after that, December 19th, the Prairie Unity Powwow. So two more live streams for the year, and then we'll be taking a break until January. Also, don't forget, we are in the middle of our Explore Native Challenge, sponsored by our friends over at 8th Generation. We're giving away several of their blankets, including this one, PowWows.com/win. Woo, look at that. It is a pretty one. Let me pull it back a little bit so you can see some of the other colors. Let's see, there's that. Oh, that turquoise green. This is beautiful. 8th Generation does such an amazing job with their blankets, working with their artists to get those designed and created. You can enter daily, PowWows.com/win. And at the end of this episode, I'll give you a bonus code to get you some extra entries that's only available by watching today. Now, let's talk travel lessons. First, and you may have heard me say this before, but find culture wherever you travel. Whether you're out on a quick business trip, maybe a family vacation, even before a cruise, maybe, wherever you are, there's some kind of native culture that you can explore. And it's really great to, when you're in different parts of the country, especially, go and check it out. So recently I was over at the Choctaw Powwow and Cultural Heritage Day. The Choctaw have a cultural center. It is incredible. It's like a museum with exhibits and all kinds of interactive things here. Let me show you a couple of photos from it. So during their Cultural Heritage Day, they had some social dancing and other things going on. So you were able to see some of that. Here's a powwow picture, more social dancing, the powwow, social dancing. Yeah, so I highly recommend looking and finding. This is the perfect kind of thing if you're on a family vacation. This could be a half day, or even, I mean, you could spend a whole day there, but it's a great thing for you if you just have an hour or two or something. It's great. Go in, get the food, which was awesome, authentic Choctaw. So I highly recommend, while you're traveling, look for things like that. It's a great way to add a little culture and support the local native tribes and native artisans. So good. Even if you can just find maybe a local native shop, or a place that has some kind of native crafts and support the local artists in that way. It's a great thing. Um, even so, I was at Boston, and they had a Christmas market, and so I didn't find any, but that's one of those places you might be able to find some native artists at an outdoor market, something like that. Another way to support. You can go to the bookstores and ask if there's any local artists. All these kinds of things are great. You're going to learn a little bit about the local culture, the local tribes, but then you're also going to help support them. So I think it's really cool. So lesson one: look for culture, especially when you're on these trips. It's something that will really make a difference for you and for that local tribe. Lesson number two that we have learned: we've been doing this for a long time, and we continue to prioritize travel over other stuff. So with the holidays coming up, this is one of those times where we as a family prioritize travel. Yes, we're going to get each other some gifts, and maybe if I get another Roosevelt shirt, which I love my Roosevelt shirts, PaulGouder.com/shirts. If you're looking to buy one, you get $15 off your first order. Um, and I get a small little some points in my account. But anyways, yes, we're going to do that during the holidays. We'll give each other a few gifts, but we are going to also look at ways we can. Sometimes we'll give our daughter maybe a trip or something like that and include that in her gifts. Sometimes we just exchange gift cards to each other that are we use on travel, or we'll sometimes just take the money we would have spent and just put it towards a trip. For us right now, we have a big trip coming up. It's going to be our 30th anniversary, 11 months from now. And so we have been looking at what to do in 2026. We'd like to do for, zero anniversaries and zero birthdays. We like to do something big. So we are going to do, as a family, all three of us, we're going to go on a 14-night Panama Canal cruise. Never done that, always wanted to do it, so that we will be over the next year using birthdays and holidays and all that to put a little bit of money toward that trip so that we can make sure we get that paid off, and of course, have some spending money and stuff that we want to be able to do while we're on that trip. We don't want to not be able to get some souvenirs and have excursions as well. So I know a lot of you right now, money is tight, and I understand that. So what I recommend is, create a fund in your bank if you can. If you can create a separate account and put little bits aside. When you have a birthday, maybe opt for a smaller gift and take and put $10 in that account. It really will add up over time. And we do automatic transfers into our travel account. So every paycheck, $15-20 is coming out and going right into that. It really does make a difference. And then of course, gift cards, like I mentioned, I have a little book down here of where we keep our passports and stuff. And we have, we just build up a stack of gift cards, and you can, right now with Black Friday and some of the other things coming up, there will be gift cards on sale. Like Target usually has a discount. Sam's and Costco will put them on sale. So look for those. That's a great way to stock up. And you can use some of those to pay for your trips. Like if it's a Disney cruise, or Carnival has gift cards as well that you can use to pay for your cruise, or just to pay for things while you're on those trips. Now, I want to take a quick break and thank sponsor of tonight's show, and that is our friends over at Penguin Random House. They have been sponsoring our book club. Yes, we have a book club. You should check it out. It's over on our Circle community that I just talked about. But yes, we want to thank them for their sponsorship. And during Native American Heritage Month, they really want to highlight some Native authors, Native stories that they have in their collection. So make sure you go check out our book club to learn more about this. But let me tell you a little bit about some of the things that they are highlighting this month for Native American Heritage Month. So I have a link down below, and you can go to PowWows.com/contenders to learn more about this. So here's their page all about Native American indigenous voices and stories. Some of these are picture books. Some of them are chapter books geared at young readers, but I think they are great for anybody. And if you have young people in your life, these need to be in your house. Check out some of these titles here. Really great, and it is just a ton of them. And so I do want to highlight a couple of my favorite that I have here with me. First off is Contenders, which is the link. PowWows.com/contenders will take you to that landing page. Did you know that there is a World Series that happened where there were two Native athletes playing against each other on opposite teams? I'd never heard the story until I saw this picture book. Again, it's geared for young readers, but taught me something. It's really well illustrated, beautiful book. Tells you the history of the two athletes and what happened at the World Series. So check that out. And another favorite of mine, Rhea Thunderchild, which we interviewed on the show a few years ago. This is her book about how she grew up as a traditional dancer, going to powwows and stuff like that. And now she's a professional dancer in a dance troupe traveling the world doing dance. So this is another great one. Great story and great inspiration for anybody, um, especially young powwow dancers, to see what can happen. Really cool. Look at all the places that she's been able to travel. So go check that out. Thank you, Penguin Random House, for your continued sponsorship. PowWows.com/contenders. Tip number 3, or lesson number 3. This is a lesson that we've sometimes ignored, and we learn the lesson again in a hard way. And that is, when you're traveling, make sure you plan a rest day. A full rest day can be really important. Even if you can't get a full rest day, plan a half day. Some of these trips that we do, they're go, go, go. If you're going to a theme park or a cruise, they can be the opposite of relaxing sometimes. It can be very busy. Even if you're doing a family road trip or whatever, even a beach trip, going to putt putt and doing all the restaurants and all that stuff, you can wear yourself out while trying to relax. So try to build in a rest day. Try to build in a day where maybe you spend the morning at the pool, then go get some lunch, and then go back to the room, do a little Netflix and chill. People are going to get cranky. People will start feeling that in their feet, which will then, affect their temperament. So they're going to appreciate it, especially the day after that rest day when they're refreshed and they can, get back going. So maybe even you use it to just do a little shopping around your resort or just walk down the street and take it easy. One of our favorite we didn't intend it, but one of our early trips to Disney World, we had a day that turned into kind of that rest day, because we were we were pushing our group so hard. This is what kind of accidentally turned into a rest day. We had taken my parents and Kelly's mom with us to Disney. It was Brooke's first trip. This was years ago. And we were going hard. We were going really hard. And so this morning we got up and went to a breakfast. Everybody was together. After the breakfast, all the grandparents were feeling a little tired. So they're like, hey, you know what? Can we just go back to our room and rest for a little while? And then we'll meet back up this evening. I was like, okay, sure, we can do that. So what Kelly and I ended up doing, we were in Epcot. And so we just let Brooke walk. We didn't have an agenda. We weren't trying to get to the next ride and rush to do the next thing. We just let her explore herself. And we'd sit and take breaks. We'd let her, look at the water, do whatever, and just explore on her own. Yes, we were still doing stuff, but it wasn't that go, go, go. And it did turn into a rest day for the grands and for us. So think about that when you plan your trips. Lesson number 4, travel is not just about the places, but it's about the people. This year, I went to a lot of conferences, and for me, the conferences were a huge win and a huge success, not because of the breakout sessions and watching the keynotes, which some of those were really good. Some of them were just okay. But it was the people I met. It was the connections. I heard a speaker at the conference I was at in Boston just recently. She said, conversation is the catalyst of change. And I think that sums it up so well. So whether you're going to a conference or just going on family vacation, don't, you know, don't just be in your group. Talk to people. We love talking to people in line. My daughter gets sometimes annoyed by without doing that, but it's some of these conversations and connections that can really make a difference. And going back to lesson number 1, finding culture where you travel. If you do find one of these places like an art market with some local artisans, have a conversation, talk to them, find out about the local area, find out what they do. These conferences, we now have a group of us that went to some of these conferences together. And, now that we've done a few, we were afterwards, going out to dinner. We were sitting outside for hours at a time, just hanging out at the hotels. And it's so great. And so now I feel like I have a whole group of friends that we travel together at these conferences. And when we get back home, I feel like I have a support system. So be intentional about this. And really, these little small steps, compliment somebody on something and start a conversation that way. I love wearing my Roosevelts. I love the patterns, but these are really great conversation starters to me. People always like give me a compliment or ask me what the shirt is. I do stand out. So that's another way that I can start that conversation. Make sure when you see the staff and the volunteers, whether it's at a powwow or a conference, tell them thank you. Talk to them as well. You'll be surprised at the end of the trip. You might forget about the keynotes, but those conversations and those connections you made will really, really make a difference. Lesson 5, and this is topical right now with the holidays coming up, some of the busiest travel times. The government shutdown is over, but it is still going to take a while for everything to get back to normal. So that trip I was just on in Boston, they're telling people, if they cancel your flight, they'll try to let you know the day before. So I was good. I checked into my flight, went so far as we got on the plane, and that's where it went wrong. Our plane had been delayed because of weather at the other city that it came from. So we were an hour behind. So we got on the plane. We thought everything was good. And when they went to make their final checks and, get the flight plan going, they found out that our airspace, our reservation into the airspace was gone. And they didn't have enough air traffic controllers to open it back up. So they canceled the flight. So as you travel during the next couple of months, remember, pack a little extra time, pack a little patience, check your flight schedules, check your travel plans often, take copies of all your documents, take pictures of your important stuff, build in some wiggle room there to know things can change. Make sure in your carry-ons, have a delay kit, get some snacks, get your portable chargers, maybe take a book in case you are somewhere that you don't have internet, you can't get on your phone, and control what you can and let the rest of it go. It really will make a difference. You have to have that mindset shift because you don't want a little delay just to set you off and ruin the whole thing. And that's true whether you're traveling for, again, a theme park, a cruise, or just going to a powwow. Really keep in mind that, hey, these little things are just part of the journey and it's okay. So expect chaos, pack your patience, let the bumps in the road come, and just enjoy the trip. So to recap, find culture when you can, look for native experiences, whatever trip you're on, prioritize as a family experience over the next new gadget, considering putting more of your budget during the year into these experiences and memories. Build in a do nothing day. Take some time to relax and just enjoy the journey. Enjoy each other. Remember, travel is about the people, not the places. Look for ways that you can make connections. Expect chaos, pack your patience. Things are going to go wrong. It's okay. Just roll with it. So I'd love to hear from you what your travel plans are over the next few months, and let me know what lessons you've learned. I'd love to hear about your experiences too, whether you found a new cultural thing to experience with a museum or cultural center, maybe a restaurant. I'd love to hear about it. So hit the email paul@powwows.com. I'd love to find out more. Please join us over in the circle. Join the community. We're having some great conversations about travel and all kinds of other things. Circle.powwows.com. And again, thank you to our sponsor, Random House. I'm trying to get the link up. There we go. And check out those books that they have. These should be on your bookshelf for everybody in the family to enjoy. And these do make great holiday gifts. So as promised, here's that bonus code to get you extra entries into our Explore Native Challenge and get you a chance to win one of those 8th generation blankets. The bonus code for today is 328-1405. Good luck. I really hope I draw your name out. I think we're drawing the names on December 15th or 16th, something like that. I'll do it live. Good luck. I hope you enjoy the challenge. It is a lot of fun, not just because you have a chance to win, but there's some really cool activities in the challenge. I think you're going to like it. So go check it out, PowWows.com/win. Thanks again for your support and for our sponsor. Have fun, hit the road, find a new adventure, spend some time with your family, and I'll see you back next week. Thanks so much.